Hey guys, it's Ben Surdy here from Surdy Ventures Group and Sasquatch Land Co. And just wanted to share a couple updates, kind of what I've been doing and where this business came from, meaning Sasquatch. And, you know, for all the business owners out there that are looking to take their company to the next level, wanted to share some of the things that Surdy Ventures Group does and what this real life case study is that we're building with Sasquatch Land Co. So, about a week and a half ago, I've built many companies. I've built Inc. 5000 companies. And in 2022, what started with a carpet cleaning van, with just me and a carpet cleaning van, I wound up selling that company in 2022. In that course of time, I learned I'm a student, and I learned an immense amount about every aspect of a business, from marketing to operations, to sales, to HR, to systems, to culture, to branding. And, you know, after I sold the company, I realized all this knowledge that I have, the years and years of building systems and operating, I got to take that back to the public and help other people do the same thing. So that's what I do with Surdy Ventures Group. Is we are a creative venture company that basically does it for you. You know, when I would hire, consultants or, coaches along the years, it was good to have conversation and dialogue. They're like, okay, here's how you might think about doing it. But what I was always looking for is just like do it for me. Give me the thing, give me the system that I need, right? And so when I started Surdy Ventures Group, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to give them the system so they don't have to think about how they should do it or any of this. And that's really where it came from. Well, as I started working with clients and building out systems and they're having all this success, I said, well, I want to have my own case study. And I think I'm ready to start another company. So this conversation, you guys, started with myself about a week and a half ago. So if you look at the Sasquatch Land Co. company, like the Facebook page, it's only about a week and a half old. So I want to explain to you what I did in a week and a half and why this is completely possible for your business. If you're somebody that's serious that wants to grow their company, I want to share with you what I did in a week and a half and what the results have been. So a week and a half ago, I'm sitting on my couch and I'm like, I'm going to come up with an idea for a home service-like company in a random industry that, frankly, I don't know anything about. And so I was sitting on my couch and the idea came to me, and I was watching YouTube videos and stuff. And the idea came to me because I wanted to get a skid steer because I've got property up in Lake Wenatchee, and I wanted to buy a skid steer. So in my head, I was like, well, if I'm going to buy the skid steer, that's going to be the company I'm going to start. I'm going to start a company where we utilize the equipment that I want to buy, and I'm going to build a business out of it. And that's where Sasquatch Land Co. was born. I said, we're going to get into forestry mulching, which is what I needed to do up at my cabin, and fire prevention services. There's a lot of wildfires up there. And so I said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do forestry mulching and fire prevention. So now I need to build a brand. So I started doing research, analyzing, the keywords that people use, how much search volume's coming in, looking at the competitive landscape, kind of doing a SWOT analysis of what the strengths and weaknesses are of the competition and where the opportunities are, so that we can use tactics to basically build a machine that goes after the weaknesses of the competition. And like most industries, this is an industry that is underutilized with professional branding, underutilized branding with lack of technology, lack of sophistication, I guess you could say. And that's no, insult to the industry. It's just very common in the home service space, whether it's drywall or plumbing or any of these companies, right? Landscaping. So here's how it started. I built a brand. I believe that a company must have a very, very good brand. And then the design has to speak to the target audience. And I figured that there's going to be about 60-40, meaning 60% men, in fact, which is different than a lot of home services, but 60% men are actually going to be seeing these ads because they like skid steers and they like working in the yard. And so it's going to show up on their feed more than women, but ultimately women make a lot of the decisions in the home. So I knew the brand had to speak to a leaning male audience, but also had to speak to a female avatar. And so I built the brand, and that's what we do at Sturdy Ventures, is we help establish the brand, everything from how the website's going to look all the way down to the truck wraps, the business cards, and really think through that. So again, it started with the brand. That's the first step. Once you get the brand dialed, then our next part of the strategy is we now need to build a website based on that branding. We know who our target audience is. We know what the services are we want to target. So now we need to build an actual brand around that, brand collateral. And so that was the website. Sturdy Ventures Group, we build websites for clients. And so if you want to see the work that I do, go to SasquatchLandCo.com. I also built the website for SturdyVenturesGroup.com. But then I built the website. Now, keep in mind, this happened all in a week and a half. We're talking 9 days. Built a brand, built a website that is a smoke show website. I mean, it's crushing it. And then once I had the brand, then I figured out, I never want to bake myself into a job. I'm not looking to go out there and operate the equipment. Why? Because that's not my best and highest use, right? I'm a strategist. I'm a marketer. I'm an operations specialist, but I don't need to be out in the field. Okay. So I hired a experienced operator from about as soon as I had the website built. I basically went after some really good talent, pitched them on the idea, built a big presentation, invited the husband and wife to my home, pitched them, and they were ecstatic and wanted to jump on board. So I figured out the who's very quick. It's not thinking about how do I do it. I'm not worried about how do I go operate the skid steer. I'm thinking about who do I know that knows how to operate a skid steer. It's the who, not how, which is a great book. So then I figured out the who's, and then I figured out, okay, well, if I have him going out and bidding all the work, it's only a matter of time before he's going to be busy doing the work and not be able to keep up the lead volume to go sell. So my next hire, which happened the next day, was a lead inspector, a sales rep. So I got the sales rep, I got the lead operator, and then I said, okay, I don't really need to be on the phone every day answering phone calls, so I need somebody strong in the back office. I need somebody that's going to handle the CRM, book the appointments, call the customers, make sure our invoices are paid, manage the lead funnel. So I hired that person, right? Who, not how. And so what that does is it puts me in a position of being the strategist, the marketer, to put people that are very good at what they do in the positions that they're really good at doing. So I always encourage you to take a step back in your business and figure out what is your best and highest use, and who do you need in your business to be able to scale quickly, because it can happen to everybody where you start doing everything. You're the cook, you're the front desk clerk, you're the bookkeeper, and then all of a sudden you're overwhelmed and inundated with problems. So that's something I learned in operating a company, and building it and scaling it. So once I had my team, we had to build out all the systems, right? So this is another thing that we do at Sturdy Ventures Group for companies is we build out all the systems for you. Most companies, most founders do not build systems in their company until it's too late. What does that mean? They wait until there's a lot of problems compounding. They're putting out fires left and right. And you may be sitting here watching the video thinking, that's me. That's me. I'm the guy putting out the fires, or the girl putting out the fires. So how do you fix that? How do you solve that? You build all the systems on the front end. So let me tell you what that included. Full job descriptions. And these aren't just like bullet points. Here's, check the mail, blah, blah, blah. These are full-blown, like, 7 to 10 page documents that fully set up the employee to know what winning looks like, what their KPIs are, key performance indicators, what their daily, weekly, monthly tasks are, what success looks like in the position, whatever scripts and stuff that they're going to be using, I build into that. But the document that accompanies that is the actual training guide. So when I work with companies or for Sasquatch, I can't just give them a job description and say, here's basically what you're going to do. I need to show them what doing it looks like, right? So built out full training guides for each position. So now I've got job descriptions, I got full training guides, and then I built an operations manual, right? So for the operator, I built a 24-page training operations guide for him. My sales rep, a full-blown training guide for him. And then a full-blown training guide for our growth manager, which is what I call that position in the back office. She's in charge of growing by repeating, communicating to new leads that are coming in and helping us grow that way, right? So you got a brand, you got a website, you got your systems in place. Now comes the marketing machine. For most home service companies, it's all about automation. If you're manually doing anything in your business, I'm an AI expert, so I use a combination of probably 18 to 20 different programs that all have a different specialty. And what I'm doing is I'm building marketing funnels that are going to not have to have a human involved. Because when you need a human involved, that's where errors can happen or delays, and you need to be fast. So at Sturdy Ventures, we call it the speed to lead program, where it's rapid fire. We're generating leads with things like Meta, Instagram, TikTok. And when somebody fills out the form, there's a whole system built behind it. It's the life cycle of a lead. So we build that out. I can have predictability. So then we start measuring the data. At Sturdy Ventures, we build all the ads. We build all the photos that you're going to use. We build viral videos. It's the same videos you've seen with Sasquatch, And so these aren't just ordinary, boring videos. They're videos that people message on, and they're like, oh, my God, that was so funny. How'd you do that, right? So this is part of the recipe, that I'm sharing with you. And that's phase 1 of marketing. And then I've got a phase 2, 3, 4 that as we scale, I start bolting on different strategies that are going to allow us to be everywhere all at once, all of the time. And if you want to scale a company, and I mean scale it fast, not this 5-year crap where, you're grinding for 5 years to get to $1 million. I'm talking like 6 months, you're at $1 million. You want to go to 2-3 million? That's going to happen in the course of another 3 to 6 months. So if you're a business out there and you've been wanting to grow your company, you don't need to work with me, but I will tell you this. I want you to go to my website, sturdyventuresgroup.com. I built a very unique assessment. It's called the Dominator Assessment. It takes about 8 minutes of your time, but it's worth the 8 minutes of your time. It's going to fully analyze your business, every part of it. And what it's going to do is give you a very valuable report. It's something I should basically be charging people to actually get, but I'm giving it away for free, at least for now. And it's going to tell you everything that you need to do in your business. Whether you hire me or you don't hire me, it's going to tell you what you need to do. And then if you do want to hire my company, then we're going to basically lace together in a one-on-one meeting and go through all the recommendations that I put together. And then we're going to hit the ground running. I do not work with everybody. I turn down more people than I actually work with, kind of on like a 10-to-1 ratio. I'm not interested in working with everybody. I've got limited resources and time. I want to work with the right people that really are serious about growing, not people that are just looking for the next marketing agency and they bounce around looking for the next shiny object. Sturdy Ventures Group is different. We're not just going to coach you. We're not into coaching and consulting and all that stuff. This is done for you system. So if you're a business out there and you're looking to take your company to the next level, go to sturdyventuresgroup.com, fill out the assessment, take a look at it. And if you want to have a meeting with me, That'll be part of the flow. That's, of course, automated in the back end of it. So with that being said, keep following Sasquatch Land Co. As we continue to scale. I'll be continuing to share what it's like on the inside, behind the curtains of building $1 million company in under 6 months. Adios.